Thank you, Brendan, for your great insights on the negative side of our proposition. I believe that the points that you have made are sound, but there is evidence to back up the fact that animals do not have to be involved when testing cosmetic products. It is true that many companies, even large, widely known ones, are currently using animal testing to test their products. Even though it is technically allowed, I would like to state some of the reasons why animals should have rights and touch on the benefits that it will bring to companies if animal testing was not used at all. The first question that Brendan asked was if there are plenty of other resources suitable for testing that closely resembles humans and will yield accurate comparisons. Our plan addresses this question in that society should make a move in order to change what the FDA counts as appropriate when it comes to testing products. This plan would make it so that the companies would have to find a way to test their products and ingredients in a way that is humane and does not involve animals. With this plan in place, this movement would be approved by the FDA in that sense. According to Cruelty Free Cosmetics 101, methods like artificial tissue testing and test tube testing are alternative methods that can now be used. Artificial tissue grown in a laboratory has proved to provide better results on how likely a skin irritation on a person will occur compared to traditional animal testing. The use of test tube testing methods eliminates animals from being poisoned in order to differentiate toxic from non toxic cosmetic ingredients. The negative side also questioned if animals deserve more rights than the new proposed resource to be used for science and cosmetic testing. From the qualitative significance on our affirmative side, we believe that animal testing is objectionable and the value that animals have are very relevant. Animals have a basic right to respectful treatment. They are like people in many ways in that they both feel, think, behave, and experience pain. According to the Humane Society International, cosmetic animal testing is still legal in 80% of the world, and an estimated 300,000 animals die each year in cosmetic testing in China alone. These tests cause an enormous amount of pain and suffering, and there's no pain relief administered to the animals. The only time that these animals are relieved of their pain and their torture is when they die. These animals should be treated with the same respect as humans. For the third point, the negative side also asks if animal lives are valued more than that of the potential safety of humans. The FDA actually states that companies can test on animals if they find it necessary to assure the safety of a product or ingredient. But the problem is entrenched in the status quo. Animal testing should not be the first mode of testing that companies think of when testing their products. There are humane ways to study products that are much more viable, and without the affirmative policy, the status quo would not just go away because it really is the cheapest and the easiest option for companies. To touch on Brendan's last point, with the last question he asked of the banning of if the banning of animal testing will stop companies from using this practice when they are unable or willing, with the plan that we want to set in place, the answer is yes. With our plan and the mandates of the policy, this plan would ban all animal testing for cosmetic purposes and help companies move towards natural testing for their products that the consumer would trust. Companies will start to use more natural products that do not need testing and lean towards a more natural way to make their products so that the consumers can trust and know that they are not harsh to them or the environment. With our agent of action, the FDA would implement and administer the plan, set guidelines on what companies can and cannot do, and make sure that animals are not involved in the testing of their products. In conclusion, as Maddie stated in her initial affirmative side speech, we truly believe that the United States government should put policies in place that bans the cosmetics industry from testing on animals for cosmetic purposes. To further our burden of proof and to sum up our stock issue positions on the affirmative side, It states that many of the tests that are currently run by companies for cosmetic testing cause harm to the animals. These companies are still using animal testing to test to make sure if they are safe for humans when there are many other ways to test cosmetic products that do not have to rely on animal testing at all.